in the Nancy Guthrie case. And I know I didn't drop an episode yesterday or on Saturday.
No one expected Craig Melvin to be the one who said it out loud, and that may be why it landed so deeply when he did. He didn't step in front of cameras or offer commentary during a broadcast. Instead, he spoke quietly to a small group of colleagues, people who had watched Savannah Guthrie carry herself through years of public pressure with unwavering composure. What Craig shared wasn't gossip or revelation meant to shock. It was something far more personal. He spoke about watching Savannah move through this moment with precision that looked like strength but felt like something heavier underneath. He said it wasn't grief as people recognize it. It was discipline, a kind of internal regulation that had been with her long before this chapter began. According to Craig, understanding Savannah right now means understanding the lifelong bond she shared with her mother Nancy, a relationship built on devotion, expectation, and an unspoken belief that love was something you upheld through excellence, not emotion. A bond that shaped everything. Craig described Savannah's relationship with her mother as the central axis of her life, the quiet force behind her decisions, timing, and tone. He wasn't critical. He was careful. He spoke about how Nancy's influence wasn't rooted in control, but in belief. Nancy believed Savannah was capable of extraordinary things and treated her accordingly from a young age. That belief became fuel, but also pressure. Craig said Savannah learned early that showing competence brought reassurance, while uncertainty invited silence. Over time, achievement became the language of connection. Savannah didn't rebel against it. She internalized it. Craig emphasized that Savannah never spoke of her mother with resentment. She spoke with reverence. That reverence, however, came with weight. In moments of stress, Savannah instinctively reaches for structure instead of softness, not because she lacks feeling, but because she was taught that steadiness was the most loving response to chaos. Strength as a learned language. What Craig observed most clearly in recent days was not Savannah's restraint, but its origin. He said she wasn't suppressing emotion. She was translating it. Where others might cry, Savannah organizes. Where others might plead, she clarifies. Craig described this not as performance, but conditioning. He recalled moments over the years when Savannah faced professional or personal exhaustion and still framed everything in terms of readiness and responsibility. He said she once told him that her mother admired follow-through more than vulnerability. That lesson stayed. Even now, Savannah communicates with intention, careful phrasing, and a visible effort to remain grounded. Craig said this doesn't mean she isn't hurting. It means she believes that losing composure would feel like losing alignment with the values she was raised on. To Savannah, strength is not armor. It is respect. And respect, in her world, has always been inseparable from love. The fear beneath the poise. Craig shared that beneath Savannah's composure is something far more fragile than people realize. It isn't fear of public opinion or professional consequence. It's fear of falling short in the one role that matters most to her. He said Savannah has always measured herself against an internal standard shaped by her mother's expectations. Not harsh expectations, but high ones. The kind that don't need to be spoken aloud to be felt. Craig believes that in moments of uncertainty, Savannah doesn't ask whether she's doing enough for the world. She asks whether she's doing enough to honor the woman who shaped her. That question drives her to remain upright, even when rest would be kinder. Craig said watching this unfold has been painful because Savannah doesn't permit herself the grace she so easily offers others. She believes that if she holds steady long enough, clarity will arrive. Letting go feels unthinkable. Motherhood and quiet repair. One of the most striking things Craig shared was the contrast between Savannah as a daughter and Savannah as a mother. He said she parents with softness, patience, and emotional openness. She encourages expression. She allows her children to be messy, uncertain, and tired. Craig believes this is intentional. Savannah is giving her children something she didn't know how to ask for herself. She is breaking a cycle, not through confrontation, but through gentleness. That awareness makes this moment harder. Craig said Savannah knows how to be tender. She just doesn't apply it inward. When he sees her reassure her children, he sees a woman who understands the cost of conditional strength. Yet when it comes to herself, she defaults to endurance. Craig believes this is because loosening that grip feels like severing a bond. If she stops striving, she fears she might lose the thread that ties her to her mother's voice and values. Why her words sound measured. Craig also addressed why Savannah's public statements feel so deliberate. He said it's not strategy or image management, it's instinct. Savannah was taught to speak when prepared, not when overwhelmed. She believes clarity is a form of respect, especially in moments that affect others. Craig noted that Savannah always begins by acknowledging people around her, offering gratitude before need. That order matters to her. It reflects how she was raised to approach challenges. He said Savannah communicates as if someone she deeply respects might be listening closely, evaluating not the outcome, but the manner. That imagined audience isn't the public, it's her mother. Craig believes Savannah chooses precision because she wants to honor the lessons she was given, even now. Her restraint isn't absence of feeling, it's the form her feeling has always taken. And changing that form feels like breaking a promise she never consciously made. Love and expectation intertwined. Craig was careful to say that Nancy's love was never withheld. It was abundant, but expressed through belief in Savannah's potential. That belief, however, came with an assumption that strength was the default state. Craig said Savannah grew up understanding that capability was admired and perseverance was praised. Over time, those traits became synonymous with worth. Craig doesn't believe Nancy intended harm. He believes she thought she was preparing her daughter for a demanding world, and in many ways, she succeeded. Savannah is admired for her composure, ethics, and reliability. But Craig believes the cost is that Savannah struggles to let herself be carried. She is always the one holding. In this moment, when uncertainty has stripped away control, Savannah is still trying to meet an internal expectation that no longer has a clear endpoint. That is the quiet exhaustion Craig sees in her eyes. The loneliness of being unbreakable. What moved Craig most was how alone Savannah feels right now, not because she lacks support, but because she doesn't know how to receive it without feeling like she's failing. He said Savannah doesn't want sympathy. She wants reassurance that she's doing this correctly, that she's responding in a way that aligns with the values she was raised to uphold. Craig said that kind of loneliness is invisible. It doesn't look like collapse. It looks like composure stretched too thin. He worries that Savannah doesn't know how to stop performing strength, even when no one is asking her to. Craig believes that if resolution comes, Savannah will express gratitude and then move forward quickly. That's how she survives. But if uncertainty lingers, the internal judgment may grow louder. Not from anyone else, but from the voice she's carried since childhood, urging her to do more. Seeing her fully at last, Craig didn't share these thoughts to invite scrutiny or analysis. He shared them because he wanted people to see Savannah fully, not just as an anchor, not just as a professional, but as a daughter shaped by love that came with responsibility. He hopes that understanding this dynamic will soften expectations placed on her. Savannah isn't withholding emotion. She's translating it the only way she knows how. Craig believes that what she needs most right now is not answers, but permission. Permission to rest, to feel, to stop proving anything. He said that if people can recognize the quiet courage it takes for Savannah to remain standing, they may also recognize how much strength it would take for her to finally sit down. In sharing this, Craig wasn't revealing a secret. He was offering context. And sometimes, context is the most compassionate truth of all.